I recently quit my job as a management consultant in Toronto after working for less than a year, and today I'm going to tell you why I quit.
Deja de mentirte. La foto que subiste con él diciendo que era tu cielo. Bebé, yo te conozco también, sé que fue para darme celos. No te diré quién, pero llorando por mí te vieron. Por mí te vieron. Déjame decirte.
So I'm actually in Panama right now, working out of my hotel room. I was here for a few days over the weekend with my dad, and our flight back to Toronto isn't until tomorrow, so I thought I would film this video here and make it a bit more interesting. And before I start, this video won't be dramatic or anything. I didn't quit on a bad note. I didn't get fired, and I didn't hate my managers or my job or anything like that. I went into consulting right after I graduated from university. And going into the job, I always knew that I eventually wanted to leave consulting. I just always thought that it would probably take 1 to 2 years to figure out what I really wanted to do and then pivot from there. And that's not just me, it's really the nature of consulting itself. I would say that 80% of people probably leave after 2 to 3 years in consulting. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons why people leave consulting, but I haven't reflected too much on consulting as a career overall yet. So I don't think I should be telling people, whether or not you should be leaving consulting or whether or not consulting is the right career for you yet. Personally, for me, I still think that consulting is a relatively interesting job, especially in the grand scheme of jobs where most of them are probably kind of boring. I just never found myself fully motivated by what I was doing in consulting or any sort of professional services job, to be honest. Not to say that I didn't learn a lot or find the job interesting at all, but I do feel like some people are naturally more excited about professional services work or what consultants do than I was. I've just always been more interested in entrepreneurship, where the idea of building or owning something motivates me a lot more. But probably the biggest thing that helped me realize I wanted to leave consulting was when I looked at those above me in consulting and realizing that I couldn't see myself becoming like them. And that's not taking away from the respect I have for these people. They're all super hardworking, really smart, and really successful. It just wasn't a career that I saw myself doing for the long term. So when a really great opportunity came along that I was also a lot more interested in, I decided to go for it.
Déjame decirte, se ve que él te trata bien, que es todo un caballero. Pero eso no cambiará que yo llegué primero.
So I just stepped out of my hotel to go to a coffee shop nearby, but I do want to talk about what's next for me after consulting.
Puede que no te haga falta nada, aparentemente nada. Hawaii de vacaciones, mis felicitaciones. Muy lindo en Instagram lo que posteas, pa' que yo vea cómo te va, pa' que yo vea. Puede que no te haga.
So my camera died while I was at the coffee shop, but I'm back at the hotel now, sitting by the pool since it's my last night here. Anyways, as I was saying, I came across a really good opportunity that also fit me a lot better because it was in a space that I've been interested in for a while now, and that's Web3/crypto. And that's why I ultimately decided to quit my job in consulting. I'm actually working in a business operations/strategy role at my new startup, so it is pretty similar to consulting, and it's probably one of the more common exit opportunities that people take after they work in consulting. So I actually quit my consulting job about a month ago, and I've been working with my startup since then. And honestly, I love the new role, especially the team that I'm working with and everything that I get to do and learn about. For me, the choice to quit was really clear since the startup is really closely aligned with my interests in Web3 and gaming. And I also get a lot more responsibility and flexibility in my work now. Obviously, I wouldn't be in Panama right now if I was still working in consulting. Working at a startup is really different from working at a large multinational corporation though, and there are definitely pros and cons for each. But I already had about a year of startup experience from this class I took in my 4th year of college, so I sort of knew what I was getting into. But despite my new job being a lot better for me, I still think that consulting is one of the best places to start your career, especially if you're not really sure what you want to do in the long term. Consulting firms hire from all backgrounds, so it's a really great mix of people that you get to work with, and there's so much to learn when every project is so different. Anyways, that's about it for this video. It should be easier for me to post more consistently now, and there are a lot of interesting topics that I want to make videos about regarding business/the startup life. But drop a like to support the channel and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more content coming really soon.
Puede que no te haga falta nada, aparentemente nada. Hawaii de vacaciones, mis felicitaciones. Muy lindo en Instagram. pa' que yo